What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
You can't deny that Outer Banks is one of the most binge-worthy shows on Netflix right now. With Season 2 just around the corner, we've compiled a list of some of the most paused moments from Season 1 that left viewers with their jaws on the floor. Before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more videos. Scuba diving for the compass.
And our mission this summer is to have a good time all the time. The downside of Pogue life is we're ignored and neglected.
Outer Banks has been action-packed from the get-go. The pilot episode was packed with tension and drama. One of the first scenes of the show sees John B. scuba diving to attempt to grab something that is hidden underwater. He and his friends are doing their best to keep the mission a secret, as they don't want to raise suspicion. However, as John B. is searching for the item, his air runs out while he is still underwater. What followed was one of the tensest moments of the entire series, with fans having to pause the episode to catch their breath and calm down. If you have anxiety issues, you may want to skip this scene because it will keep you on the edge of your seat for quite some time. In the end, the dive was worth it, and John B. was able to grab his father's compass from underwater. This allows the Pogues to continue piecing together the mystery of John B.'s father's disappearance. Do you have a fear of water? Just like a lot of viewers, I do too. This scene was super difficult to watch, and I almost had to turn the show off several times. This was next level tense. Topper proclaims his love for Wheezy.
She cheated on him, and the guy before that. You know what that means? You're next.
Sarah Cameron has a sister that is super mischievous and loves to sneak around, hiding out in some of the weirdest places you can imagine. This leads her into a lot of trouble, particularly when Sarah is supposed to be meeting up secretly with John B. Sarah asks her sister to sleep in her bed for the night, but things quickly take a strange turn when tonight, of all nights, Topper decides to confess his love for Sarah. He is drunk and stumbling around in the wee hours of the morning searching for Sarah. He approaches Sarah's bed and acknowledges that their relationship has been tested recently, but he explains himself and how he is deeply in love with her. He confesses his most secret emotions, though. All the while, Wheezy is hiding under the sheets and doing her best to not laugh. After Topper finishes his speech, the room falls silent. He asks Sarah why she isn't responding, only for Wheezy to turn over in the bed and simply say, "Hi, Top." Topper falls off of the bed in shock. Could you imagine confessing your deepest emotions to someone in the dead of night, only to realize you had poured your soul out to the wrong person? I couldn't even begin to understand the shock and trauma that would cause. Kiara and Sarah make amends.
Hey, Kiara, you know what they say about curing jellyfish stings? You have to pee on me.
Even though the main goal of the Outer Banks crew is to solve the mystery of John B.'s father, the team of teens manages to get themselves into all sorts of emotional trouble along the way, particularly when John B. begins dating Sarah. This leads to a lot of awkward emotions between Sarah and Kiara, and you could cut the tension with a knife throughout most scenes. This reaches a boiling point when the two are left on the boat when no one else around, and Sarah unexpectedly gets stung by a jellyfish. It doesn't take long for Kiara to offer Sarah a joint to help her calm down and soothe away the pain. While the two are completely baked, they manage to set aside their differences and become great friends. It's safe to say that this isn't the only problem to have ever been solved with a bit of herbal relaxation. These two are destined to be great friends. Pope rips his pants.
Nice. Come on, dude. It's a little tootsie roll.
As the Pogues are rummaging through an old graveyard, they find a vital piece of evidence that completely changes their journey and furthers their hunt for the elusive golden treasure. Though, as they're trying to piece everything together, a team of security guards shows up and tries to arrest the teens. The Pogues made a mad dash for the nearest fence, hopping over one with the security guards close on their heels. All goes well until Pope's turn to leap over the fence. As he jumps, he gets his shorts caught on the bars at the top. He refuses to jump down as he fears he will rip his pants and be forced to run back to the van with his member flailing in the wind. Though there is no other choice. The team convinces him to jump off of the fence, leaving his shorts hanging from the top of the gate. After making a break for it, JJ begins to tease him while shouting, "Little Tootsie Roll!" The guards find Pope's shorts hanging from the gate and have nothing to say other than kids are getting weirder every year. Just imagine if the Pogues would have been caught while Pope was completely pantless. I hear jail is not a place you'd want to go without proper underwear. Lana tells John B. the truth.
Then he tossed his body into the sea.
From the moment Outer Banks begins, we know that John B. is working through a lot of complex emotions after he learns that his father has disappeared and is most likely dead. Though it doesn't take long for John B. to uncover evidence that points to his father potentially still being alive, yet lost at sea somewhere. By episode 8 of season 1, Lana decides to tell John B. the truth and reveals that Ward thought he had killed John B.'s father, leaving him for dead. However, she further explains that he set up a small shelter and was able to survive, though they don't know how long he would have been able to live in such uncertain conditions. This furthers the hatred that is felt between John B. and Ward, pushing John B. to further seek revenge against him. Sarah cleans John B.'s wounds.
Fugitive, John B?
I'm like a refugee or something.
John B. has never been one to shy away from danger. He always seems to be getting himself caught up in a mess, and this time was no different. John B. was in another police chase with local law enforcement and managed to fall off of a stolen bike, injuring himself quite badly. Sarah rescues John and takes him home, offering to clean his wounds so he doesn't get infected. However, her cleaning product of choice is rubbing alcohol. We all know where this is going. As she pours the alcohol in his wounds, he lets out an incredibly loud cry. Sarah slams her hand over his mouth and says she's never heard anyone make a noise like that before. She slowly goes back to cleaning the wound, but he begins to pucker his face and slap her hands. She just stares at him and says, "Excuse you." What are friends for? Aside from pouring pure alcohol in your open wounds. Jeez. John B. and Sarah survive a shipwreck. In one of the final moments of the season, John B. and Sarah are seen sailing away in search of Mexico. This would be the next major point in their journey, but it seemed incredibly unlikely that they would arrive in one piece. Along the way, their boat turns over during a horrible storm. The two fight for their lives, and it could be easily assumed that they were destined to lose their lives at sea. Though, when they open their eyes the following morning, the audience can breathe a much-needed sigh of relief. There didn't seem to be any possible way these two could have survived, but against all odds, they lived to die another day. Though, even better than that, the two find out they have been rescued by a fishing boat. They quickly learn that the boat is headed for none other than Nassau in the Bahamas, the location of the gold. This sets up the next season and paves the way for some amazing adventures that will likely be soon to come. We can't wait for season 2 to be released. Pope the Rapper.
Just gonna lay low. Oh, did you want to handle this?
I keep the signal clear.
Easy there, Chief.
Outer Banks is anything but a comedy, but the show is filled with countless moments that leave you both scratching your head and dying of laughter. This scene is no different. Throughout the season, JJ has been offering Pope to smoke to help calm his nerves and bring him back down to earth. Though, without fail, Pope turns him down by saying, "Keep the signal clear," each time. Though, when the series reaches a boiling point, JJ offers for Pope to smoke one last time and he agrees. This begins to freak out Kiara, who feels like Pope won't be able to keep up his end of their plan, though he reassures her that everything will be perfectly fine. It doesn't take long for Pope to completely lose his mind, saying, "I'm the plan guy, I'm Mr. Plan-O-Matic." In typically embarrassing fashion, Pope then breaks out into one of the worst raps we've ever heard, bragging about thinking of a master plan. Kiara slaps her hand over his mouth and says this is the quiet plan. He seems like he's going to calm down, but as soon as she removes her hand, he confesses his love for her. This only makes things worse. Pope, we love you, but you can make us cringe so much sometimes. So there you have it, some of the greatest and most paused moments from season 1 of Outer Banks. Did we miss any of your favorite moments? Let us know in the comments. Also, tell us about what you're looking forward to the most in season 2. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more videos.